Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something truly important. In a world that's constantly changing, in a time when we're surrounded by so much noise and distraction, the question is, how do you stand out? How do you make yourself so valuable, so indispensable, that no one can replace you? Well, it comes down to one thing: habits. The habits you cultivate today will shape who you become tomorrow. And when you choose to nurture the right habits, you can become irreplaceable. Let's talk about 7 habits that will do just that. Number 1, be relentlessly reliable. In a world full of distractions, commitments broken, and promises unkept, there is one habit that will elevate you above the crowd: being relentlessly reliable. Think about it. How often do you hear the words, "I'll get to it," or "I'll try my best," in place of the solid assurance that something will actually get done? Unfortunately, too many people today don't follow through, leaving others scrambling to pick up the slack. But when you decide to be someone who is unwaveringly reliable, you immediately place yourself in an entirely different category, one where trust is the foundation of your relationships, your reputation, and your success. Being reliable isn't just about showing up physically, it's about showing up mentally, emotionally, and with the same level of energy, focus, and effort every single time. It's easy to get complacent when things are going well, but real reliability shines through when times are tough, when the deadlines are tight, or when obstacles seem insurmountable. This is where your commitment to being dependable will truly set you apart from others who may have started out strong but faltered when the going got tough. You have to show people that no matter what happens, they can rely on you. People want certainty in an uncertain world. When they know that you'll follow through, they don't have to worry about whether or not things will be completed. They don't have to chase you down or remind you repeatedly. They know you'll keep your word. They know that if you say you'll do something, it's as good as done. That level of reliability, that consistency, is something rare, and it's what separates the good from the great. Imagine being the person others turn to, not out of necessity, but because they trust you. You're not just a player in the game, you become a cornerstone, someone whose dependability is unmatched. People will seek you out for your unwavering commitment. It doesn't matter if the task is large or small, simple or complex, you deliver with the same level of excellence every time. You create an atmosphere of trust, and that is something that can't be faked. When you become known as the person who always comes through, it changes the way others perceive you. Your word holds weight, your reputation precedes you, and because you've established yourself as someone who consistently delivers, your influence expands. Opportunities start to come to you because people want to work with someone they can trust. Your dependability opens doors that would otherwise remain shut, and soon you'll find that you no longer have to go out and search for opportunities. They will find you. In this world where people are often too busy to keep their promises, you have the chance to stand out by being different. The ability to show up when you say you will and do the work with precision and determination is an incredible asset. It's a skill that's more valuable than any technical expertise or temporary success. Because the one thing people will always need is someone they can count on, someone who will not let them down when things get hard, when they're in need, or when they face challenges that seem too big to overcome. Reliability is not just about meeting expectations, it's about exceeding them. It's about demonstrating that you're someone who doesn't just complete tasks, but does so with excellence. You go the extra mile, put in that extra effort, and give 110% every time. When you do this, not only will people begin to rely on you more, but they will respect you more as well. Respect isn't handed out freely, it's earned. And one of the fastest ways to earn it is by being someone others know will always show up and deliver. Here's the beauty of being relentlessly reliable. It's a habit that compounds over time. The more you prove your reliability, the more opportunities you will have to show it. It becomes a cycle. People see your reliability, they turn to you for more responsibility, they trust you with bigger tasks, and you rise to the occasion. And the more you rise to the occasion, the more irreplaceable you become. Reliability isn't flashy. It's not the kind of trait that gets immediate applause or recognition. But when you look back at your life, you'll realize it was the bedrock upon which everything was built. You'll see that your relationships, your success, and your reputation were all built on the simple yet powerful foundation of being someone who could be relied upon. The impact you'll have on others will be lasting. The impact you'll have on others will be lasting. You won't just be remembered for what you did. You'll be remembered for how dependable you were, how people could always count on you. That's the kind of legacy that's irreplaceable. So ask yourself today, are you the person others can always count on? Are you someone who shows up no matter what and delivers time and time again? If not, it's time to make the commitment to change that. Become someone who is relentlessly reliable. Be the person others turn to because they know they can count on you. And watch how it transforms your life and your future. Number 2, take ownership of your work. Taking ownership of your work is a game changer. It's not just about finishing a task and moving on to the next one. It's about taking full responsibility for the process, the results, and everything in between. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't wait for someone else to tell them what to do. They don't rely on excuses and they don't blame circumstances. They own everything they do from start to finish. And in doing so, they unlock their full potential. You see, too many people approach their work as if it's someone else's responsibility. They do just enough to get by, they meet the bare minimum, and they clock out when their shift is over. But here's the truth. That mentality will never set you apart. That mentality will never elevate you to the level of greatness you're capable of achieving. It's those who decide to take full ownership, those who say, this is my work, my responsibility, my outcome, that rise above the crowd. They understand that their success isn't dependent on someone else's actions or decisions. It's in their hands, and they embrace that power. When you take ownership, something powerful happens. You stop waiting for someone else to solve problems. Instead, you become the problem solver. When challenges arise, you don't look for someone to blame, you look for solutions. And because you take responsibility, you don't shy away from difficult situations. You tackle them head on, knowing that you have the ability to navigate through them, even when it feels tough. Ownership means not running from challenges, but stepping up and finding ways to turn them into opportunities. Here's the thing about owning your work. It instills a sense of confidence that no one can take away. People who take ownership walk with a different kind of energy. They stand taller because they know that, at the end of the day, they control their destiny. They understand that their success is a reflection of their effort, their decisions, and their actions. They own not just the big wins, but also the losses. And it's this accountability that fuels their growth. The people who truly own their work have a sense of authority. They don't need to be told what to do. They don't wait around for instructions. They lead by example. They show others what it means to take initiative, to show up fully, and to give everything they have to the task at hand. They inspire others not with their words, but with their actions. They set a standard that others can't ignore, and that level of leadership becomes a magnet for respect. People want to follow those who lead with purpose, those who aren't afraid to take responsibility, and those who give everything they've got day in and day out. When you take ownership of your work, you start to see the world through a different lens. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and you start seeing them as stepping stones. You stop waiting for things to fall into place. You make them fall into place. You create your own opportunities, and you don't wait for someone to give you permission to move forward. Taking ownership means you're constantly looking for ways to improve, constantly looking for ways to do better, and constantly striving for excellence. And because of that mindset, your work doesn't just meet expectations, it exceeds them. Taking ownership also means embracing accountability, even when it's uncomfortable. It means being willing to look at yourself honestly and say, what could I have done better? It's not about playing the victim or blaming others when things don't go as planned. It's about saying, this is on me, and learning from every experience. It's about growing, evolving, and becoming better with each challenge you face. This level of accountability isn't easy, but it's what separates the good from the great. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need someone else to tell you that you're ready. When you take ownership, you take control of your future. You become the person who steps up when others step back. You become the person who delivers, regardless of the circumstances. And you become the person who gets results. Your work becomes a reflection of your commitment, your discipline, and your ability to rise above the noise and get things done. In a world where many people are content to sit back and wait for the next opportunity, those who take ownership of their work create their own opportunities. They don't wait for success to come to them. They make it happen. They understand that success isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you build with each decision, each action, and each commitment you make. And when you make the decision to take ownership of your work, you're making the decision to build a future that's filled with success, purpose, and fulfillment. So ask yourself today, are you truly owning your work? Are you taking full responsibility for your results? Or are you waiting for someone else to show you the way? If you want to be exceptional, if you want to stand out in a world full of mediocrity, then it's time to take ownership. Own the process, own the results, own your future, and watch how it transforms your life. Number 3, cultivate a growth mindset. To become truly irreplaceable, you must adopt one of the most powerful habits a person can possess, cultivating a growth mindset. It's a mindset that says, I'm not done yet. I'm not satisfied with where I am. The world around us is constantly evolving, and the people who succeed are the ones who keep moving forward, who keep learning, and who keep growing. The moment you stop growing is the moment you start falling behind. And if you're not growing, you're being left behind. That's the hard truth. Many people, unfortunately, believe that once they reach a certain point, they've learned all they need to know. But if you think you know it all, if you think there's nothing left to learn, then you're already on the path to becoming irrelevant. The world doesn't stop for anyone, and in today's fast-pacing environment, if you're not continuously improving, you're quickly going to be overtaken by someone who is. To remain irreplaceable, you must foster a mindset that constantly seeks knowledge, embraces challenges, and views every obstacle as an opportunity for growth. When you embrace a growth mindset, challenges don't become roadblocks. They become stepping stones. Every problem you face, every setback you encounter, becomes a chance for you to expand your capabilities. Instead of avoiding difficult situations or letting them discourage you, you lean into them. You attack them head on with the understanding that by overcoming these challenges, you're becoming better, more skilled, and more adaptable. The world doesn't reward the person who avoids obstacles. It rewards the person who faces them, learns from them, and emerges stronger on the other side. One of the most important shifts that happens when you cultivate a growth mindset is your ability to see failure differently. Most people fear failure. They avoid it at all costs because it feels uncomfortable. It's seen as something to be ashamed of. But when you adopt a growth mindset, failure is no longer something to be feared. It becomes a valuable teacher. Every time you fail, you learn something new. You learn what doesn't work, and you learn how to do better next time. In fact, failure is often the greatest learning opportunity you'll ever experience. The people who succeed are not those who avoid failure, but those who embrace it, who use it as fuel to propel them forward. But cultivating a growth mindset isn't just about facing challenges or learning from failure. It's about constantly striving for improvement in everything you do. It's about realizing that no matter how skilled or knowledgeable you become, there is always room for growth. The moment you think you've mastered something, you've stopped growing. And if you stop growing, you're no longer evolving. You've put a ceiling on your potential, and no one can rise to greatness with a ceiling over their head. To adopt a growth mindset means you must remain open to new ideas and new ways of doing things. You have to be willing to step outside your comfort zone, to try things that scare you, and to fail sometimes. But that's the beauty of it. The more you put yourself in situations that challenge you, the more you learn, the more you grow, and the more you develop a skill set that makes you irreplaceable. Your potential is limitless when you approach life with a growth mindset. It's about recognizing that you are never done. The day you think you've reached the top is the day you begin your descent. So, how do you cultivate this mindset? It starts with believing in your ability to improve. It starts with the understanding that wherever you are right now, it's not where you have to stay. It's about constantly looking for ways to improve yourself, to expand your skill set, to learn new things, and to challenge your assumptions. Think about the world's greatest achievers, whether they're entrepreneurs, athletes, or artists. They didn't stop learning the day they reached a certain level of success. In fact, many of them attribute their success to the fact that they never stopped learning, never stopped growing. They stayed curious. They stayed hungry. And as a result, they were able to adapt to changes, seize new opportunities, and maintain their relevance in an ever-changing world. The world is always moving forward, whether we like it or not. The moment we stop advancing is the moment we start falling behind. You can't afford to sit back and assume that what worked yesterday will work tomorrow. The world is too fast and the competition is too fierce. But if you embrace a growth mindset, you'll not only stay ahead of the curve, you'll be the one setting the curve. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new. Every interaction, every piece of feedback, every challenge is a chance to grow and evolve. And when you commit to that, when you commit to never stopping your personal growth, you will become a force that can't be ignored. You'll be the person who adapts to any situation, who thrives in any environment, and who continues to evolve, even when the world around them is changing. So ask yourself, are you committed to growing every day? Are you willing to embrace challenges and failure as opportunities to improve? Are you ready to step into your full potential? When you cultivate a growth mindset, you position yourself as someone who can't be replaced. And that's how you truly become irreplaceable. Number 4, develop emotional intelligence. One of the most valuable habits you can develop, one that will set you apart in any area of life, is emotional intelligence. Now, let me be clear. Emotional intelligence is not about being emotional or being overly sensitive. It's about being deeply in tune with your emotions, understanding how those emotions affect others, and having the ability to manage both your emotions and the emotions of those around you. In a world where so many are caught up in their own feelings and reactions, this ability is truly a game changer. It's a skill that makes you irreplaceable, no matter what role you're in or what field you work in. When you develop emotional intelligence, you begin to recognize that your emotions are not just a personal experience. They have an impact on those around you. Imagine walking into a room and without saying a word, you can feel the energy shift. You can sense the emotions of others. Are they frustrated, excited, anxious? It doesn't take long before you realize that people are often reacting to more than just the task at hand. They're reacting to each other's emotional states. The more you can manage your own emotions and understand the emotional currents in a room, the more effectively you can communicate, solve problems, and create positive change. This is the power of emotional intelligence. It's not just about understanding how you feel in a given moment. It's about understanding the emotions of those around you and responding appropriately. When you can do this, you create an environment where people feel heard, valued, and respected. In a world that's increasingly fast-paced, where people are constantly juggling multiple priorities, just being heard can make a world of difference. When you have the ability to make someone feel like they matter, you begin to build trust, and with trust comes connection, collaboration, and respect. This is how relationships are built, by recognizing and respecting emotions, both yours and others. But it doesn't stop there. The ability to manage emotions goes far beyond simply creating a harmonious atmosphere. It's a skill that allows you to navigate conflicts with grace, solve problems creatively, and lead with empathy. In the workplace, in teams, and in any organization, emotional intelligence is critical because it helps manage the dynamics of human interaction. People aren't robots. They're human beings with complex emotions that can easily affect their decisions, their performance, and their relationships with others. When you can help people regulate their emotions, inspire them when they're down, and keep them motivated when the going gets tough, you become the person people turn to in times of difficulty. Let's take conflict, for example. Everyone encounters conflict, whether it's with a colleague, a partner, or even a friend. It's an inevitable part of human interaction. The real question is, how do you handle it? Do you react in anger or frustration, adding fuel to the fire, or do you pause, breathe, and listen? When you develop emotional intelligence, you gain the ability to navigate conflict with a clear head and a calm demeanor, where you're able to separate your emotions from the situation and approach it with the goal of finding a resolution that benefits everyone involved. This ability to manage conflict constructively is invaluable. It allows you to move beyond petty disputes and create lasting solutions that strengthen relationships rather than tear them apart. Emotional intelligence also plays a huge role in leadership. Great leaders are not just great thinkers, they are great feelers. They understand their team's emotions and use that understanding to inspire and motivate them. They know when to push for results and when to give people the space they need to recharge. They know how to tap into people's strengths and build on them, creating a work environment that not only drives results, but fosters creativity, collaboration, and trust. Leaders who have emotional intelligence are the ones who connect with their teams on a deeper level. They don't just manage, they lead by example, by showing empathy, by caring about their people, and by creating an atmosphere where everyone can thrive. In today's world, emotional intelligence is in demand now more than ever. The world has become more connected and the need for collaboration has never been greater. People who understand how to communicate with empathy, how to motivate others, and how to resolve conflict without creating further division are highly sought after. Emotional intelligence isn't a soft skill, it's a leadership skill. It's the difference between a team that functions on autopilot and a team that thrives. A team that works together, that innovates together, and that achieves together. And here's the key. Emotional intelligence is a skill, not a trait. That means you can develop it, you can improve it, and you can make it stronger with every interaction. It's not something you either have or don't have, it's something you can learn and refine. If you want to become irreplaceable, if you want to stand out in any organization, the ability to navigate emotions, to manage relationships with care, and to build trust and respect is a skill you can't afford to overlook. So ask yourself, how aware are you of your own emotions? How well do you understand the emotions of others? Are you able to manage those emotions in a way that creates positive outcomes? If you want to truly set yourself apart and make yourself irreplaceable, you must develop emotional intelligence. The world needs leaders who can inspire, who can create harmony in difficult situations, and who can bring out the best in others. When you cultivate this skill, you'll be the person everyone turns to. You'll be the person who can make a difference in any team, in any organization. And that's how you become irreplaceable. Number 5, master communication. Mastering communication is the single most powerful habit that will elevate you to a level where you become irreplaceable. Your ability to articulate your thoughts clearly, listen with intention, and connect on a deeper level with others creates a ripple effect that resonates far beyond what you could ever imagine. Communication is the glue that binds people together. It's the bridge that connects ideas. And it's the key that opens doors to opportunities you would never have dreamed of. If you truly master communication, you will be the person people turn to because they trust you, they understand you, and they know that when you speak, something meaningful is about to unfold. Too often we think of communication as simply conveying information from one person to another. But communication is far more than just the exchange of words. It's the exchange of meaning, emotion, and vision. It's how we share our thoughts, inspire change, and move people into action. If you can master the art of communication, it doesn't matter if you're talking to a small group or addressing thousands, you will become the person others want to listen to. You will hold their attention because you are not just speaking words, you are speaking to their hearts, their hopes, and their aspirations. Think about the times when you've been inspired by a speaker. It wasn't just their words that moved you. It was how they made you feel. It was how they connected with you on a deeper level. Communication is the ultimate connector. It's the thread that weaves us together, and it's what allows us to collaborate, build trust, and create something greater than ourselves. If you can master communication, whether in writing, speaking, or simply in the way you listen, you become someone people want to engage with. You become the person who can rally others around a common cause, who can bring out the best in a team, and who can inspire action even in the face of adversity. One of the keys to mastering communication is learning to listen. We all know the importance of speaking, but how often do we truly listen? Active listening is an art in itself. It's not just hearing the words that come out of someone's mouth, it's hearing what's behind those words. It's understanding their fears, their motivations, their dreams. When you listen actively, you create a space where people feel heard, respected, and valued. You build trust because people can sense that you are not just waiting for your turn to speak. They know that you genuinely care about what they have to say. This is where true communication happens. It's in the moments of quiet listening, in the pauses, in the silences between words, where the real connection is made. When you become someone who listens with intent and speaks with clarity, you create a rare and valuable skill set. Think about the leaders you've respected the most in your life. What was it about them that stood out? More often than not, it wasn't their intelligence or their expertise. It was their ability to listen, to connect, and to communicate their thoughts in a way that inspired you to take action. Mastering communication means being able to take complex ideas and simplify them in a way that anyone can understand. It's about speaking in a way that resonates with people, that moves them, and that motivates them to make a change. It's about finding common ground, offering solutions, and guiding others toward a shared vision. But communication is not just about speaking clearly. It's also about how you communicate non-verbally. Your body language, your facial expressions, your tone of voice, all of these play a huge role in how your message is received. The way you present yourself can either build or break your connection with others. Imagine you're giving a presentation and you're speaking with authority and conviction, but your body language says something entirely different. You cross your arms, you avoid eye contact, you fidget. What does that communicate? It says that you're not fully invested, that you lack confidence. On the other hand, when your body language is aligned with your words, when you stand tall, make eye contact, and speak with passion, your message lands with power and impact. Your words are amplified by your presence, and your audience knows that what you're saying matters. Not just from an internal shift, it's a proximity. When your body language enhances the vibe in an extroverted person and feels the message more easily than if it is just seen through an external vent. Mastering communication also means being clear and concise. In a world filled with noise and distractions, clarity is an invaluable asset. When you communicate with clarity, you cut through the clutter, you capture attention, and you leave people with a sense of understanding. People will remember your message because you've made it easy for them to grasp. The power of clear communication cannot be overstated. It's what allows you to influence, to persuade, and to inspire others to take action. If you want to make a difference, if you want to lead, then you must learn how to communicate with precision, with purpose, and with passion. Now think about this. If you could communicate with clarity, listen with empathy, and speak with purpose, what would that mean for you? It would mean that you are the person who people trust, who people turn to when they need guidance. It would mean that you are the one who can create change, who can bring people together, and who can lead them toward a common goal. You would become the kind of person who doesn't just take up space, but who creates space for others to thrive. You would become the person who fosters collaboration, who builds relationships, and who inspires action. In a world filled with noise, where everyone is talking but not many are truly connecting, your ability to communicate effectively will set you apart. It will make you a leader in your field, a trusted voice, and a person who is irreplaceable. Communication is not just a skill. It is the skill that enables you to connect with others, to build relationships, and to inspire change. If you master it, you'll find that the world opens up to you in ways you never imagined. And it all starts with learning to communicate not just with your words, but with your heart. Number 6, deliver excellence, not perfection. The 6th habit that will make you irreplaceable is delivering excellence, not perfection. Now, I want you to listen closely because this is a critical point that many people overlook. Perfection is a myth. It's an illusion. It's a moving target, and the harder you chase it, the further it slips away from your grasp. Think about it. How often have you set out to achieve something perfect, only to find yourself stuck in an endless cycle of tweaks and revisions? Perfection, my friends, is something that will always elude you. It's like chasing the horizon. No matter how fast you run, you can never reach it. But excellence, now that's a different story. Excellence is something you can control, something you can make a part of your daily habits, and something that will set you apart in ways perfection never will. Excellence is about showing up every single day with the intention of giving your best. It's about going the extra mile, even when no one is watching. It's about pouring your heart and soul into whatever it is you do and making sure that what you produce is something you can stand behind with pride. Excellence isn't about being flawless. It's about being consistent. It's about doing your best, learning from your mistakes, and striving to do better the next time. Excellence is a reflection of your commitment, your character, and your willingness to give 100%, no matter the circumstances. This is what makes you irreplaceable. I want you to think for a moment about the people you admire the most in your life. The people who inspire you, the people who lead by example. I guarantee that none of them are perfect. They've made mistakes, they've fallen short at times. But what has made them stand out is their pursuit of excellence. They've made a habit of delivering high-quality work consistently, and because of that, they've earned the trust and respect of everyone around them. People remember those who deliver excellence. They don't forget them, and they certainly don't let them go easily. When you deliver excellence in your work, in your relationships, in your character, you create a reputation that can't be ignored. You become the person that others turn to when they need someone they can rely on. Excellence is not only noticeable, it's magnetic. It attracts people, it builds trust, and it opens doors that perfection could never unlock. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying that you shouldn't strive for improvement. I'm not saying you shouldn't aim to be better tomorrow than you were today. What I'm saying is that chasing perfection, waiting for the perfect moment to act, is a fool's game. It's a waste of time. Perfectionism often leads to procrastination. You keep waiting for the perfect conditions, for everything to fall into place just right. And before you know it, opportunities have passed you by. Excellence, on the other hand, is about showing up regardless of the conditions. It's about doing the best you can with what you have right now. And that's something that can be achieved today, not tomorrow, not next week. Excellence is the choice to give your best, not the expectation of being flawless. People who deliver excellence don't wait for the perfect moment. They make the moment perfect through their effort. They are the ones who stay late to finish the job. They are the ones who put in the extra hours to get it just right. They are the ones who pay attention to the smallest details because they know that those details matter. It's this kind of commitment that sets them apart from the rest. Excellence is about developing a work ethic that doesn't rest on the laurels of yesterday's success. It's about constantly pushing yourself to do more, to be better, and to never settle for good enough. It's the small choices you make every day that build the foundation of excellence, and that foundation is unshakable. Think about your own life. Are you striving for perfection or are you striving for excellence? Are you waiting for everything to be perfect before you take action, or are you taking the steps to improve one at a time, regardless of the obstacles in your way? When you commit to excellence, you stop worrying about whether things are perfect. You focus on doing your best and learning from every experience. You embrace the process and trust that each effort is a step toward mastery. And when you do that, you create a ripple effect that impacts everyone around you. Excellence is irreplaceable. People may forget a mistake, but they will remember the person who consistently delivers excellence. It's not about being perfect, it's about being reliable, being committed, and being someone who can be trusted to deliver time and time again. When you make excellence your habit, you become the person others rely on, the person others want to work with, and the person who can't be replaced. You set a standard of quality and integrity that becomes your trademark. And that, my friends, is what makes you irreplaceable. So forget perfection, strive for excellence. Deliver it every day and watch as it opens doors, builds trust, and makes you the kind of person who is impossible to forget. Excellence is not just something you do, it's who you are. And when you embody it, you'll find that success follows you no matter where you go. Number 7, serve others first. The 7th and final habit that will truly set you apart in every area of your life is serving others first. Now, I know that this may seem like an abstract concept at first. You might wonder, how does serving others make me irreplaceable? Aren't I supposed to focus on my own success? But let me tell you something. True success is not measured by how much you acquire or how many accolades you earn. It is measured by the impact you have on those around you. When you choose to serve others first, you create something that lasts far longer than any personal achievement. Relationships that are built on trust, loyalty, and respect. Think about it for a moment. In a world that often emphasizes self-interest, where competition is fierce and the focus is frequently on what you can get for yourself, choosing to serve others is a decision that stands out. It's a decision that says, I am here to add value, to make a difference, and to help others succeed. It's a decision that positions you as someone who uplifts and supports, rather than someone who seeks to take or gain. And when you make that decision consistently, you begin to build a reputation that is truly irreplaceable. People begin to see you as someone they can count on, someone who cares about their well-being, someone who is generous, not just with their time, but with their heart. The truth is, when you serve others, you are creating bonds that cannot be broken. You are creating a network of loyalty that goes beyond any contract or transaction. People remember those who help them without expecting anything in return. They remember the ones who take the time to listen, who offer a helping hand, who go the extra mile without hesitation. And when they remember you in that way, they won't forget you. They won't let you go. You become someone they can't afford to lose, not because of what you've done for them in the moment, but because of who you've proven yourself to be over time. But let's be clear, serving others does not mean neglecting your own needs or ignoring your own goals. It's not about being a martyr or letting people walk all over you. Serving others first is about shifting your focus from what can I get to how can I help. It's about putting others in a position to succeed, knowing that when you help others rise, you too rise. It's a powerful, almost paradoxical truth. When you take the focus off yourself and genuinely seek to serve, you end up creating the opportunities and connections that propel you toward your own success. Think about the leaders, the mentors, and the people you admire most in your life. What sets them apart? I can almost guarantee it's not just their skill, their intellect, or their personal accomplishments. What sets them apart is the way they make others feel. They've invested time in others, not out of obligation, but out of genuine desire to help, to uplift, and to serve. And in doing so, they've built a network of people who would follow them anywhere, people who are loyal because those leaders took the time to serve their needs first. This is the beauty of service. It creates a ripple effect. When you serve, you don't just help one person, you help the entire community around them. And that community, in turn, will help you when you need it most. It's a dynamic of mutual respect and support that transcends simple transactions. It's about creating lasting relationships that are rooted in gratitude, trust, and reciprocity. Now, I know that there are times when serving others can feel like a sacrifice. It might seem like there's not enough time in the day or like your energy is being stretched too thin. But I assure you, when you serve from a place of integrity and genuine care, you will find that you always have enough to give. The more you serve, the more you grow. The more you serve, the more you become a person others cannot afford to lose. The more you serve, the more you create a life that is rich in meaning, in purpose, and in connection. In the end, it is the service you give to others that will be remembered. Your success will fade, your achievements may be forgotten, but the impact you have on the lives of others will echo through time. And when you serve others, you position yourself as someone whose worth cannot be measured in titles or accolades. You become someone whose presence is irreplaceable because you have made the lives of others better. You have made their journey easier, their struggles lighter, and their victories sweeter. And in doing so, you have created a bond of loyalty and respect that no amount of money or recognition could ever replace. So let this be your guiding principle. Serve others first, not out of obligation, not out of expectation, but because it's the right thing to do. When you make this your habit, you will become someone who others look to for guidance, for support, and for leadership. You will become someone whose impact lasts far beyond the work you do. You will become irreplaceable. And that, my friends, is the true measure of success. Ladies and gentlemen, being irreplaceable isn't about having the most talent or the best connections. It's about mastering these habits. It's about being the person others can count on, the one who takes responsibility, the one who never stops growing, the one who communicates with clarity, the one who delivers excellence, and the one who serves others first. When you make these habits a part of your daily life, you'll build a legacy that can't be erased. You'll become irreplaceable, not because you're perfect, but because you are the person who everyone depends on to get the job done. So starting today, decide to be that person. Commit to these habits and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Thank you.